And just let your hands rest against the center of your chest. And breathe in fully, exhale completely, and then just relax your hands towards your knees. And when you're ready, softly open your eyes back into the space. How do you feel?
I feel amazing. It's welcome to Shift Choices, Laughter Lifts, and today we have Dirish Shaktidas. What a beautiful, beautiful name, and it means vision. I'm very, very, very intrigued to learn more from our guest today, and he is a yoga dance leader, a teacher. He's a business wealth coach, author of the book Chakrasize Your Life, 7 Steps to Dancing in Inner Wisdom. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Dirish, please introduce yourself from your perspective. Who are you?
Thank you so much, Marcella. Thank you for inviting me on today. And I am really excited to always get into the work that I do because I know its power, I know its reach, I know its transformation in people and their lives and in their practice as well. So I am always excited to talk about these things. And I have been doing what I've been doing for over 10 years now. I think if I were to count it, it would be about 15 years I've been in this world and then in my practice for about 20 years. So it's been a journey into discovering who I am, who I truly am. And I had to strip a lot of things, strip all the layers from the Himalayas, just to strip them all down and then build myself back up again, and that's taken a while to be able to sit in my truth, myself, my authenticity, and just really let myself shine. And because I've done that for myself, because I've gone through what the repression has been for me, culturally, mentally, emotionally, like every physically, I'm able to fully express myself in a way that feels authentic and true. And now I get to do, well, not now, but I have been helping people to do that across most of my work, my working life, which has been really incredibly rewarding. And I came from a fashion background. That's why I started a fashion and design background. So I was always in expression, creativity, and I just found that I just wanted something a bit more deeper. That was very surface living and only fulfilling an inch of something in me, and I wanted to dive deeper. And through going into dance and movement and meditation and energy work, that has been the big fulfilling part. And I went to a performing arts school before. Like it's always art and creativity has always been in my bones, and everything else has just been built from that in my work and evolving from being in fashion and design to where I am right now, which has been, yeah, it's been exciting. It's been terrifying. It's been like, what am I doing with myself? Questioning myself. But you know what? There's always something in me that says, keep going, keep going. You've got this. Like there's a grit, there's a determination that's like, keep going. And I trusted that. And, 20 years later, here I am, not in the fashion world, but in my own world that I get to create and, consciously create with you all.
And I must say, this world that you help to create is so exciting. The first time I actually connected with your energy, it was at the Body Mind Spirit Festival. I literally was passing by a tent there. It was fully packed. And all I hear was like, woo-hoo, woo-hoo. And I was like, what the hell is that? And then I managed to see what was going on outside, and everybody was literally just jumping, dancing, having fun. And oh my God, the energy was amazing that everybody out of the tent stopped to listen all of that and start dancing outside. I think there was probably like 40 people outside of the tent. So I'm looking forward to come back this year. And hopefully I will have a little break because I also will be speaking there. And I'll have a little break and can come to join you in the dance. So yes, this work that you do to help people in, I would say, raise their vibrations, uplift their souls. And I thought, wow, he's the perfect fit for this talk show, because this is exactly what we are about. Try to understand who we are, trying to figure out what's the best way to live life in our terms, and the freedom that we can give to ourselves. And when we talk about freedom, wow, you bring the movement in itself, which I love it, with all of that freedom element. So tell us a little bit more how the dance has come and the movement has come into your life.
Well, I dance movement celebration has been part of my culture. It's been part of my upbringing. Like we've always had that. But I would never step out. I was quite, people are going to find this very unusual, but I was very shy growing up. I was introverted. I didn't really want to be seen. I just wanted to do, I wanted to hide. I want to be behind the cameras, behind the thing. It's funny when people think like, what? Like you are so not that. But it's taken me a while to get there. And the movement, I remember dancing when I was younger and going to parties and thinking, God, like the music is doing something to me, like this cathartic thing that I'm
Mm.
holding, whatever it is able to move out my body. And it felt really liberating afterwards. So it's always been a part of my life, but I never had language to put to it what was actually happening in those moments. But I just knew that something just needed to move out my body. And then later on, when I started yoga and I started to understand what it is to be in my body, what it is to breathe, what it is to move, and then attending more dance classes and more conscious dance events that I was able to, conscious dance practices, right? That I was able to really understand how to like move things in my body and release and be able to put language to it because I had facilitators and teachers giving language to be able to understand and articulate and then to be able to identify what am I holding in the body? Where does it sit in the body? And where does it get to shift and lift so I can, flow and glow? So, and I've always had an eclectic background of movement because I used to teach Bollywood dance, I used to teach street dance, I studied classical Indian dance. I've got a whole background of it. I was performing as well, and that was giving me a lot of good way to express myself and help others express themselves. So I blended a lot of these different dance styles together to be able to then bring into my expression my bowl of mixes to be able to repeat certain movements that could help move certain things in the body. Like when you stir something, things start to blend and move, right? And then evaporate afterwards because you're stirring the pot. So I was repeating movements, and I also did like training with some of these teachers and facilitators that showed me the way. And then I was left to my own devices, and I thought, okay, I've got my own little my little dance sanctuary that I get to explore and begin to play with shapes and spirals and movements and bring it back to more of the origins of shapes and spirals because all of those link with our DNA. And if we're
Mm.
able to move in circular spiral motions, we're going back to the origins of our DNA and how we can really come back to freeing our movement from being linear all the time to flow and different tempos, and then that's really coming to an understanding of being in the body, being in the understanding, and I call my book, Dancing Your Inner Wisdom. That's what it comes to. Like you're able to give yourself space for these things to open. A lot of time we don't. We are just, one foot in front of the other. That's the movement. That's what we've been conditioned in. And actually to take yourself out of that, you can completely free yourself. And that's what I've witnessed time and time again.
Mm. That is so beautiful. You know, myself, when I started work with trauma itself, it's so interesting how we store so much of those, let's say, sadness, those negative emotions within ourselves. And as you mentioned, connecting with the body, even if it's through the breath, if it's through sound, if it's for literally just the movement itself, it can help to shift those energies. So tell us a little bit more about your experience in helping people to, release the pain that they actually hold within their body through the dance.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of people come, they might not even know they're holding pain in the body. They think, oh yeah, I want to dance, I want to move, and then like when I start instructing certain, breath techniques with the movement, and let me tell you something. There's a lot of dance, conscious dance things I go to that they don't instruct your breath. You're just moving, which is fine also. But when you're intentional with using your breath and movement, you are moving and shifting something quite powerful. And a lot of the time, people will say, I had this in my hips. I'm able to free up my hips or my heart, my chest. Um, Certain ailments people have had for a long time, it gets to, release and they'll be able to free their muscles, their body, and be able to be more loose in themselves and be able to express themselves more freely. Because, we live in the UK, which is very like can be very suppressed in terms of people not expressing themselves all the time and just holding back, holding back. And when, you come into my environment, my space, I always set the intention that people are able to release, relax, and, express themselves freely without judgment, you know. So that's really important. Otherwise, they're not going to be able to do it. But I have to be the one that is holding that. And if I'm the one to be holding that, I need to be constantly coming back to my body and my breath because that is the anchor that helps people to be able to put trust in you, because and what I love about this practice is that people unravel quite quickly. I mean, as you noticed when you saw me at the festival, people unravel quickly and it makes the process go quicker, you know. Not to compare, but I find like, for instance, if you were to do yoga movement, yoga asana, you'd be doing the same kind of shapes all the time, but it won't be as quick because we're doing linear kind of shapes. But if you were, like I'm saying, the spiral motions and the movement and getting people to just do simple repetitions
I love
and
that.
yeah, and then reaching the and then letting it evolve and open up. But people are like, oh my God, I've never moved my body like this before. Oh my God, like it's been so long. Oh my God, things start to click into place. So it's bringing you back to the origin of how you were, be more childlike, more
Mm,
carefree.
mm. Let's go back to what you have mentioned that in the past you consider yourself to have been an introvert.
Yeah.
What has been the breakthrough moment for you that you felt, you know what, I just want to be free and be able to express my authentic self no matter what going forward? When that shift has happened for you?
Yeah, that happened after school. When I went traveling, I thought, I just need a break from studying. I've
Mhm.
studied so much, I did my GCSEs, my A levels, I did my degree, and I just thought I've fulfilled all these academic things. I want to just find myself. And it's through traveling is where I was able to like really find and explore who I am. And that felt almost like, is this really happening? Because I don't know about you, but like in the 90s, it just felt like forever that I was at school. I thought, are we ever going to finish? Time was very, time felt very different back then to what it is right now. And when I was traveling, I was just saying yes to things that were coming my way. Yes, yes, I'll do it. Yes, I'll go to a yoga retreat. Yes, I'll do this dancing. Yeah. And that is when the things really began to burst open for me and the revelations I was having. And I was like, God, this is what I've been missing. This has been the missing piece,
Mhm.
like jumping straight into the fashion world and the design world. It just wasn't giving, like, it wasn't giving me what I really deeply needed. And it was only through me giving myself 3 months to travel, to explore myself, to not have any rules, to not have any authorities over me, that was really helping me to identify like what am I doing? Asking the big questions. What am I doing with my life? Who am I? Where do I want to go? Where do I see myself? And I think it's so important in this day and age that we do give ourselves space to ask ourselves the big questions because we're really, a lot of the times, distracting ourselves, you know? We are constantly looking for ways to distract ourselves, and we're not actually sitting with what discomfort is. Everything is very easy for us now, but not when we get into discomfort, it's like we completely don't know how to handle that and we push that aside. But let me tell you something, sitting in your discomfort for me has been insane. It's been painful, but it's also been the place where I get to dissect and open up and thinking, okay, well, this is where I get to free myself. This is where I get to, open up. And the thing is, nobody shows us how to do the inner work growing up. No one shows us how to do it. I had to figure that out for myself and then also figure out where my tribe was at because I know a lot of people around me just was not on the same wavelength as me.
Mm.
And through find doing the inner work and you start getting the universe just starts bringing you certain people, certain things, certain books that just start to open you up and gravitate towards the people that are meant to be there for you who are vibing on your level.
That's such a beautiful sharing. Um, it's interesting because I believe the majority of people that we're watching and listening us, they will resonate with, a few key things that you have mentioned about trying to figure out who we are and go into that journey and how uncomfortable it can be, how painful it can be. And then, yes, it's sometimes better we just push all of that aside. But it requires lots of courage to do the inner work. And the growth only can come when we actually say to ourselves, you know what, I had enough. And I really want to allow myself to go into this self-discovery journey. And when we do that and we totally can release into whatever it's going to be the outcome and just enjoy the present moment, have fun, I don't think people would be able to just stop their life and just travel for 3 months as you have done. So I think you have been extremely blessed on that, I must say. And you did mention it, I don't know how it was for you, but no, I actually lived in Brazil that time and I didn't have the time to do all of that. And I was very much controlled by my mom, which she's a lovely person, love mom, but she raised me like trying to overprotect me until I was 21. So that's when I started traveling the world and doing my own things. But I believe the awakening itself, it took probably another 15 years down the line. Because let's talk a little bit more about the word awakening itself, because the work that you do, it does help people to somehow awaken to certain emotions, certain feelings, and that self-discovery, like, oh, what's this that I'm feeling here? Or, down here, let's explore more. Oh, that was really nice. I wanted more of that. And then going to that path of having the pleasure to be into that awakening journey, whatever is this self-discovery can be for whoever it's involved in that journey too. So let's talk a little bit more about this. What's your experience within that?
Sure. So whenever people experience that thing in their body and they can't explain it, there are systems in the body, there are energetic systems in the body, and I work very closely with the system of the chakras. And you've probably heard of the chakras before. They are inner wheels, they're little spinning wheels that we can't tangibly look at, but we can definitely feel. We're sentient beings, we can feel things. And they have their different zones in the body, and the main chakras are seven that they run from the base of the spine to the crown of the head in the column of the center of the body, and they are closely linked with the endocrine system, the glandular system. So when people say they're having an issue or they feel pain or they feel a block or they feel discomfort, doing a body scan, I get people to do a body scan. Where are you feeling it in the body? Okay, your chest. Okay, well, that is the region and the zone of your heart chakra. So a lot of the emotions that tend to come up there is grief, is sadness, is worry, um, is sometimes, love, broken hearts I get here. A lot of the time it's broken hearts. A lot of the time it's like blocking themselves from receiving. They don't even know they're doing that, but they're actually closed off from receiving. They've closed off because they have been hurt in the past, that they don't know how to. They feel if they keep their heart open, they're gonna constantly be hurt. There's a lot of stories people are just holding back in there. Like, I'm just like, you need to get out of your Netflix series season two and really, because those stories will continue to keep going and repeating until you break the cycle of it. So, we get to look at the areas of the bodies that feel blocked, and then we look at the system. It's the map. It's the chakras are the moving map of energy. We look at where in the systems that is blocked, and then we get to open up, and then we get to explore. We get to look at how we get to move the body in a way that gets to shift the old energy and then breathe life into that area again. And then, begin to also assimilate and integrate the whatever's happening there using mantra, using meditation, using mindset techniques. So it's a very interesting journey that I've been helping people to navigate, where they are holding specific areas in the body and where they get to shift and lift in those areas so that they can liberate. You said about awakening. I think, first of all, we need to acknowledge what's there, give it a little shake. If it doesn't shake you, it doesn't wake you, right? And once it wakes you, you're able to liberate and tell a whole new story of what it is you consciously want to see for yourself.
We were talking about chakras, and I wonder who is the feminine Hindu goddess that connects with the heart chakra?
So the Hindu deities that connect with the heart chakra is the deity called Lakshmi. And Lakshmi is the earth goddess. She is also the abundance goddess. She's depicted wearing a red sari. She has four arms and she holds the lotuses and the abundance of money. And that she is celebrated and revered a lot for her qualities of abundance. So in India, the farmers will pray to her for new crops, growth, and abundance of fruit and vegetation. So that's what the farmers do there. But she's also revered during divine feminine festivals that happen as well for luck, because Lakshmi, if you break the word Lakshmi, luck is in there, so it's an abundant word. It's like giving that sense of, like, abundance and luck and flow. And also, she is the one that is holding the prosperity. She embodies prosperity. She's divine prosperity, divine abundance, divine um, energy. And if you call her in and you begin to meditate with her, she can really help you and really help you to see more of the abundance for yourself, appreciate more of the abundance that you have, appreciate the money that you have. And the more you appreciate, it appreciates you. So she's a beautiful deity to work with. You always see her sometime with gold. And because she's the abundance, she's in the heart, she's also linked with the deity Krishna. And she incarnated as Radha to be Krishna's lover. So when they come together, they become Radha Krishna, and they have this beautiful devotional dance with each other, and it's very much the heart chakra energy. So she always comes when, like, her, let's see, her husband, not her husband, but her equal, let's just say, is Vishnu. So when Vishnu comes to the planet and he has taken all these different incarnations, she will come as his equal. So that's where she's always in the place of love. So she's the deity of love, the deity of abundance, the deity of beauty as well. And so if you're ever feeling like, my heart chakra is feeling really damp or lost, and if you can either look at lotuses, the lotuses represent Lakshmi, recite her mantra, There's so many different mantras for Lakshmi. Even wearing like her colors, red, pinks, those are Lakshmi colors. Like you can begin to see the divine more once you understand the archetypes of the deities, of the goddesses. You begin to appreciate more how they express around us, through their colors, through their sounds, through their depictions. So that's just a little insight into Lakshmi.
In a nutshell, what a powerful energy and goddess that, we all would love to connect with. Huh?
Absolutely. And I remember like when I was a child, she was the first goddess I saw on my mother's altar. I'm like, who is this tall, perfect posture, glowing, radiant
Wow.
woman? Like she's standing on the lotus. She has like all these elephants around her. Like elephants represent abundance and
Mhm.
water. And she also represents like the fullness of the seasons, the fullness of a flower, the fullness of our breath. Like if we're in a full breath, we're in a state of Lakshmi. Or if we're like, if you see a flower bloomed, that is Lakshmi expressed in the fullness of her bloomness. So anything that is like to do with fullness, abundance is always linked with Lakshmi. And in our heart centers, if our heart feels full, we are full of that Lakshmi divine energy. So we can always reference her in so many different ways.
Beautiful. So let's talk about your book now. I would love to know where the inspiration has come from. Chakrasize your life and 7 steps to dancing your inner wisdom. What an intriguing title. Where all of that came from.
So this was years ago. I was like thinking, I think it was the Mind Body Spirit Festival. They'd asked me for a workshop. They're like, can you think of a name for a workshop? I'm like, okay. And the word chakra size came to me. I wanted to do a chakra workshop. I wanted it to stand out a little bit more. I just wanted it to be something a bit fun because I feel like
Mhm.
sometimes it can be very serious doing all this energy, spiritual work, right? And the word chakra size came, I think, ooh, I love the name chakra size because it's like the chakras people understand, and then I wanted to feel very accessible. So exercise. So you're exercising your chakras. So I put chakra and exercise together, you get chakra size. And that's how that came to me. And it felt really me. And I wanted something that was me. There's so many books that's been written about chakras, but like this is a new word, this is a new thing, and I just had my stamp on it, and it felt really like fresh, and it lifted me up. And it did really well. It was a successful turnout for the workshop I did, and we got to move with the inner wheels and understand it and move in a really fun way as well. And I liked it, and give people bite size. So the word bite size was also linked with chakra size because it's like giving you the chakras in bite size so you can slowly begin to take yourself closer and closer to the bigger wheels of it all. And I want it to be accessible, and that's why I created this word chakra size. And then dancing your inner wisdom was interesting because last year I got interviewed for another podcast, and they actually named my podcast interview Dancing Your Inner Wisdom, thinking that is it. That is what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We're dancing our inner wisdom. Once you're chakra sized, you're in that flow, you're in that dance, that you're in that Shakti movement where you're not distracted or pulled out, you're in your own lane, you're dancing your inner wisdom, you're not making the same mistakes as you've learned from your mistakes, you're dancing that wisdom. And for you to put one foot in the other, you become an example, a walking example of that inner wisdom.
Beautiful.
So, what I love about there's a really beautiful phrase in the Hare Krishna community, and they say every word is a song and every step is a dance. And I just thought that is so simple and profound at the same time. And I really admire that, and I really like that is part of my ethos.
Wow, wonderful story. I wonder if you could share with us a very, very quickly and simple exercise to just release the stress.
Yes. So interlace your fingers
Mm.
and bring your knuckles to the chin. Lift your elbows and inhale. Reach your arms all the way up. If it feels safe for you to do so, you can close your eyelids. Take a deep breath in. Turn your body to the left and exhale through your nose.
Mm.
Inhale, reach up. Turn the body, open the arms, and then interlace the fingers again. Reach up, sip a little bit more breath in. Turn your body to the opposite direction and exhale through your nose. And then from here, as you reach up, just rotate the wrists and then just rotate your fingers, just clearing the space around you from any interactions, conversations,
Mm.
and just let your hands rest against the center of your chest. And breathe in fully, exhale completely, and then just relax your hands towards your knees. And when you're ready, softly open your eyes back into the space.
Mm.
How do you feel?
I feel amazing.
I think that's a really good reset that I do all the time. Like if I'm sitting, if I'm doing a lot of things on the computer and stuff, I do a little reset like that because what you're doing, you're twisting, you're turning and twisting the spine, you're opening up the chest, you're moving the energy of the chakras, you're also stretching the fascia, the muscles. There's a lot going on in there, and you're holding your breath. When you hold your breath, you're holding up everything to then exhale, release all the stress that you may be holding in the body. And then I like to also just do some circular motions in the hips as I'm sitting down, breathing in forwards. These are called Sufi circles, and just breathing and moving, and just always keeping yourself moving. Like my three words are always keep on moving. That's probably my
Mm.
little, yeah, I guess it's part of my ethos as well, just to kind of keep on moving, like the way we see things, like keep evolving.
Love that.
uh, Not always staying stagnant. If you stay stagnant, things will move beyond you and you'll still be staying where you were. So it's important that we keep ourselves moving, grooving, flowing, and glowing.
And these would be the similar meaning to chakras in dance.
Yeah, I would link that with that as well. Keep moving, grooving, flowing, and glowing because like the moving keeps keeps your body moving, keeps your insides moving. Grooving is for the wheels, the groove of the wheels.
Mhm.
Flowing, you get to stay in your flow, and then if you keep flowing, you glow. It gives you the glow,
Yeah.
gives you that radiance. If you're always in your flow, people are like, what's going on? How are you doing that? How are you doing that? Well, I'm staying in my own lane. I'm following what feels good. Following what feels good is like the second chapter of my book, which is about the sacral chakra. Like, follow what feels good. Go with your gut instinct. Do what you love, heart chakra, love what you do. Whatever you're doing, whatever kind of like work you're doing, if you don't love what you're and you're not doing what you love, what is the point? Because then whatever you're doing, whether it's your job, you're going to be doing it for the rest of your life or however time, you may as well love what you're doing. And if you're not, you need to change that. So how do you because the third chapter I write about is called Burning Brightly.
Mm.
Able to burn brightly is to be able to move out your own way, move out your own way. And it's so hard sometimes for us because we honor the mind so much, we honor the head, and the head gets in the way of what we actually get to see and be, you know.
And what would you say is the best advice for someone that actually are feeling maybe hopeless and they are watching us and trying to feel this beautiful energy that we're building here? Yeah, I know you shared a beautiful exercise, but what are the words of inspirations you feel you could share with them?
I mean, there are a lot of things, but I think depending on where you're at, like
Mm.
plus, you got to remind yourself what gives you hope,
Yes.
and then follow that. Just follow whatever it is that makes you feel good, follow that. I mean, when I say feel good, it feels healthy and feels good. And I'd also say look at the people that you surround yourself with, because the five main people that surround you are the five people that influence you the most. And I think that's really important in this day and age to be able to notice when someone is not lifting you or cheering you or empowering you. And
Mm.
maybe you need to learn boundaries. Maybe you need to understand what that looks like for you and feels like for you. If you're feeling hopeless, ask yourself, you know, who who can you rely on that can hold your hand and help you take you from a place of hopelessness to hope?
Yeah.
And what is your favorite song? Can you dance in that? Can you let that song give you life? Can you wake up to that song every morning and dance?
Yeah. I love that. I love that. It's all about baby steps and
Yeah.
going to that self-discovery journey and understand, okay, this is probably giving me an opportunity to find out something truly deep within myself
Mhm.
that I probably had no idea that has been hidden in terms of their potential, in terms of what else they still could enjoy to do, they would love to see in life and allow that openness to be able to grow every single day with a smile, with a hug, catching up with, people that it's meaningful for them, but also trying to understand what is their own beauty, their own meaning for themselves, and how potentially they are still a role model, but they don't even know that sometimes we don't see ourselves as role models, other people see, because they see the beauty within our souls. They can see our potential, they can see our strength. And I feel there is so much power, within the words, within that path where we can allow ourselves to literally just be, even if it's be with the pain, it doesn't matter. Investigate what those emotions are trying to tell you. And
Yeah, and I feel like if a lot of the times you can't do it by yourself.
yeah,
Reach out, and if you can't reach out to someone that you love, reach out. There's so many amazing people that can help you online. You got to look for what feels right in the body. If your body gives you a yes, then go for it. If it gives you a no, honor that no, honor that yes, because sometimes it's not easy to reach out to your nearest and dearest. You think you want to hold it all together. So if you can't do it by yourself, reach out. Listen, we don't know how long we got left here.
so true.
I'm always telling myself that I don't know how long I've got left, so I need to do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Keep on moving.
Beautiful. Love that. Keep on moving, keep on moving.
Keep on moving. Don't stop
Yeah.
like the hands of time.
Wonderful. So, fun, knowledgeable, authentic, and approachable. What am I missing when I think about you?
I think you said it all. You've said it all. You've ticked all the boxes.
Oh, wow. Who inspires you nowadays? Is there anyone that can inspire you, or you found all of that and
No,
could
no,
you
there are
share with
so
me?
many people that inspire
Mm.
me. You know who inspires me is people who have fallen down and can get back up again. Those are the people that inspire me because no matter how far you fall, it's not how far you've fallen, it's how you can get up. I'm interested in how you got up because let me tell you something, we all have off days. Life is always lifing. Yeah, it's always like doing something, the good, the bad, the ugly, however you see it, perceive it, receive it. But it's how you get up. How do you get up every day? How do you get up out of a situation? And this could be anybody, like not the rising stars or the celebrities or the people, the big giants that we see that are shown to us, but everyday people, I think, because that is humbling to me when I see somebody who who may be like a single mother with three kids and is able to just, you know, get back up no matter how much of a crap day she's had. She's able to hold herself, know herself, and keep it moving. That inspires me. What inspires me too is somebody who has lost something and given them grief, and then they've been holding grief, but they're able to transmute their grief, transform their grief into something else.
Yeah, all right. If I include my dog, that would make the three kids, and it just sounds like you're talking about me now.
I'm not reading you, by the way. But like I'm telling you, like those things, because they're everyday people, let put people on pedestals and think, oh my God, they're inspiring because they're celebrities or they're influencers or anything. Let's look at people who are living every day, who are doing the everyday things, because we are those people too. We are those people. So that's what inspires me.
I love that. And this is why I always say, who inspires me, who is my hero, is my dad.
I love that.
Someone that I know the true story, the true person that, he's going to be always the celebrity close to my heart, you know, and he's
Mm,
someone that only have studied until year four. And he's so knowledgeable. He have built so many things, and what I believe is theirs legacy is the values that build the
yeah,
foundation that
definitely.
not everyone nowadays, if we look into the family perspective, know what is love, unity, caring, be able to have that freedom to talk about emotions, be able to just be yourself with your own family environment and be present, making some quality time. It's something that is missing nowadays in most
Yeah.
of the families.
It's true, especially if you're somebody who is like, so I've seen this with like spiritual people, like they just don't want to see their family or deal with that. Not everybody, I'm just saying certain people, and there's a collective of them that just don't want to be with their family. They want to stay in communities, and I get that. That's what you need to do. But there's a really beautiful quote from Ram Dass, and he says, "If you think you're spiritual, go spend time with your family." Like I think that's quite interesting because they're the ones that brought you into this world. And our family is our first community, really and truly. No matter what's been going on, no matter what kind of things, like we've got to honor the fact that we've come from them. They've birthed us. They know that they've given us life.
Mm.
So
Yeah, many different cultures, different perspectives, and I think that's the beauty of the show too, is we'll be open to literally be able to accept that none of the families are going to be equal because we also know the same. We are the same within our essence, within the
mhm.
capacity to love that we all carry, within us. But is that openness to be able to find ourselves, just like you mentioned, your own journey. And,
Yeah.
you know, that it's probably one of the tough paths that, anyone can choose to go, but it's just so rewarding.
It's more than rewarding, it's fulfilling, I think,
Mm.
you know. And I think like life teaches you, age teaches you so many things. And I look at my parents and I'm thinking, wow, they came from a tiny island called Mauritius. They came and they set a whole business here. I'm second generation. I've seen them grind, work hard, build up things, be able to live in London. That's one of the most expensive cities in the world now, and to be able to have a house that's a house in London and to have businesses. Like I've seen that has been incredible for me to witness, and the it's given me the ethic of work actually. Like, I take the best from them. I take the best and that's what I choose to embody the best, and continue to evolve that.
Wow. right? I would love to know what 2024 reserves for you. What sort of projects are you involved with going forward?
Yes, I'm really excited. I've got the Euphoria Yoga Dance teacher training starting in April, which is going to be
Hmm.
9 months. It's going to be super amazing because not only do you have time to really dive into this, you have time to start practicing it as well. You start making it a part of your life. And this training is open to anybody, and also anybody who is, who leads moon circles, women's circles. They want to apply something that is, has dance ritual in there, has certain meditations that you can use to really elevate your circles. This is also great for like if people are running retreats and you want to add something, will do for you. It will bring the magic to your retreats. And also, if you want to take it to festivals as well, if you're someone that is a yoga teacher or somebody who works in movement or a therapist or a healer, you want to bring something extra that's going to really elevate people. This is what this practice will do. And then also for your personal practice too, as well.
Mm.
If you want to dive in to the magic of this practice, and through the 9 months, you start building a personal practice immediately, and those habits begin to kick in. This isn't just another dance training. This is a transformational dance yoga training that you get to get started straight away. So I'm really excited to be able to help people take their practice to the next level, learn about how the chakras and dance work together, the different dance styles, learn about how breath you do to shift things out the body, how to become more of a master of your emotions. We learn the power of emotions and dance, the deities, the archetypes, how they get to inspire you in your day, but also in the dance, how to link those with if you're working with the moon cycles, new moon, full moon,
Mm.
these all really help to give you more of a richer, fuller understanding and appreciation through movement, through dance, through singing, through mantra, and more. So the history of Shakti, the history of ecstatic dance movement. There's plenty that we get to do and dive in. And we have a beautiful, vibrant community that gets to hold you through the transformation. Because you can have a shift over the
Mm.
weekend, but the transformation happens once you're still in it. So you need the community to be able to hold you together. And I'm going to be leading every weekend, and I have an amazing guest teacher as well that comes on. So
Mm.
yeah, it is this. It's really exciting, and I'm really proud of the of what it is become and how people receive it and how people begin to step into
Mm.
divine leadership through this process.
I really, really,
So
really love
that's what I've got
that.
coming up.
Well done. I really love that. And I love dance. The last time, or my only practice was really just belly dance. I wish I had the time to join your program.
Yeah.
It does sounds really, really amazing.
But I also have like a retreat coming up in November in Spain, which is
Mm.
7 days. It's like the journey through the chakras, through yoga, dance, and meditation. And I've got like my friend who's going to be doing the mantra, the singing, the kirtan, the sound bath. It's going to be phenomenal. And then I'm also running a yin yoga training as well. So that's something
Ooh.
else that I do as well. So yeah, it'll be the energetics of yin yoga. So that's going to be exciting as well.
Yes, and
That's coming up.
we also
Spring,
can
summer.
expect to see you at Body Mind Spirit Festival this year in London, correct?
Yes, I'm going to be at Mind Body Spirit Festival at the end of May. I'm going to be offering workshops, taster sessions. So if you want a little splash and a little taster, come and join me there.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's going to be radical.
Right. Tell us how you would like to say goodbye to our listeners today. Hmm?
Well, first of all, thank you so much, Marcella, for inviting me. It's been such a joy, and I really love kind of like the way you ask questions has really pulled so much out of me. I was like, wow, this is amazing. It's beautiful to be able to share to your audience. And, I would just love to connect with you. I offer a free 10-minute chakra reading. So if that's something you'd like to learn more about, feel free to find me on all areas, all social media, or go directly to my website, dirish.com. And I thank you for your ears. I thank you for listening. I hope that I hope and trust that this interview, this conversation can activate you to take charge and do something different, to elevate you in some sort of way and to pass the goodness on. And that's what it's about. If you learn something, pass it on. You get to pass it on. We get to build a better world together, a world that's more loving, more kind, and appreciation of each other. So that's what I would leave you with.
Thank you so much. I absolutely love to have you as a guest, and I look forward to perhaps we do some work together in the future too. So, this has been one more episode of Shift Your Choice, Laughter Lift. Thank you so much for watchers, listeners, and share this beautiful energy. Lots of love to everyone. Bye, and see you next time.